Akh, the crested ibis, written across Egypt in sacred and everyday speech.
Akh means practical power, not theory, but results.
Any person can be. The king is Akh for the gods, valuable only through service.
Titles show it. Akhn Atum, Akhn Ptah, effective toward each god.
To be Akh, the king builds works that stand in eternal monuments.
He builds for the gods. They give stability, life, and a name forever.
Akh are deeds, altars supplied, temples raised, gods made functional.
We often forget that history is not just text. It is the physical weight of intent, pressed into...
Effective deeds uphold Ma'at, keeping society and the cosmos aligned. Akhu is exchanged the king builds for gods, and they return power, life, eternal fame. Sesostrist calls Akhu for the future, works that secure favor for generations yet unborn. In Akhu, the king acts as Horus, protecting his divine father, as a loyal son to Osiris.
Altars, shrines, offerings, buildings, these are proof of effective action, not empty claims. The White Chapel declares, to do Akhu is eternity. Effectiveness outlives the body.
By feeding and housing them, Akhu makes gods effective, enabling them to function.
Akhu is not random kindness, and it sustains divine and cosmic order, not personal profit.
Effective action supports Ma'at. The original balance set at creation must be maintained.
Seti the First proclaims, I did Akhu, so let my monuments stand, and my name endure forever. Monuments are effective works of eternity, lasting proof that king and god uphold each other. Setial's monuments prove his Akh, so he asks the gods to make his name eternal.
Seti's monuments prove his Akh, so he asks the gods to make his name eternal. Akhu means a son serves his father, whether divine or earthly.
Seti the Third declares he performed Akhu by building a temple for the Ka of Ramses I. In return, Ramses I extends Seti's life and multiplies his festivals because he performed Akhu.
Akhu serves both father and god, binding kingship through dual filial reciprocity.
Papyrus Harris shows Ramses III proving his fitness to rule by listing his Akhu and TNR deeds. He searched out Akhu. A king must hunt for effective deeds, not wait for them.
He says foreigners bow because the gods empowered him, a reward for his works.
Kings perform Akhu not only for gods, but for the people, extending effectiveness into society.
The clearest Akhu is building temples and provisions, immortalizing both gods and king together.
When the king does Akhu for the people, he is a father caring for children, like Horus to Osiris.
Akhu for the people are good effective deeds done for Egypt and every land under his rule. Sinuhe says he was loved because he was Akh, shown through pragmatic acts of rescue and protection.
The official mirrors the king, protecting society and upholding Ma'at on the social level.
An official calls himself effective to both kings, loyalty proven through action, not rank.
Officials serve their lords by doing Akhu. Effectiveness proves loyalty more than status or words.
Akh in society is not abstract ethics. It is measured by deeds that protect order, the weak and divine institutions.
An official can be Akh not only to kings, but to townsfolk through deeds that sustain and protect them.
These deeds defend the weak and rescue people in danger, making Ahku an ethical responsibility. Effective deeds mirror a father-son bond, and leadership requires reciprocal care at every social level.
Officials describe Ahku as how a father acts for his son, extending divine family loyalty into politics.
Protecting cities, repelling enemies, guarding streets, restoring shrines, aiding the vulnerable, all are Ahku.
These effective deeds preserve Ma'at, using practical action to stabilize society and protect sacred spaces. Officials perform Ahku for gods and towns alike, imitating the king on a smaller scale through temple work. Texts ask gods to repay officials with Ahku in return for their protection and service, reciprocity beyond royalty. Daily Akh becomes transcendent. After death, effectiveness continues into eternity. A Akh retains movement, senses, speech, and sexual vitality, not a ghost, but a full person. A person who becomes Akh transforms into a living being beyond death. The Akh differs from Ka and Ba. The Akh becomes linked to stars and sunbeams, bodies of living, self-renewing light. This continued effectiveness makes the Akh a higher mode of life, not just remembrance.
The everyday meaning of Akh as practical effectiveness is projected into the afterlife.
In mortuary literature, this term expands into a transcendent meaning. Humans do not naturally hold divine Akh. It must be granted through ritual, merit, or reciprocity.
Only gods can bestow Ahak on humans. After death, they choose who becomes effective eternally.
The work demands precision. To translate power, one must first understand the confines of the human vessel.
Gods are Akh in a stronger form, possessing Ahku, the ability to create or demolish.
Texts say the Akh comes from the I3HW, the Shining Ones, born from Atum's glowing essence. Mortuary texts describe Akh as luminous rebirth, a state of active power in the divine realm.
To receive Akh is to gain empowered eternal life, not survival, but effective existence. As Akh, one joins stars and solar beams, living vitality, fused with radiant cosmic bodies.
Sometimes, the noise of the city is the only thing that lets you hear your own thoughts clearly.
Light symbolizes active.
A deceased person who becomes Akh is a transfigured being. Gods are Akh in an intensified form, possessing Ahku as raw power, not merely effective deeds. Humans seek divine Akh to rise into the hierarchy, not just to endure, but to become effective like gods. Divine Ahku can create, destroy, or sustain worlds' cosmic effectiveness beyond mortal reach.
To become Akh means entering a higher plane of effective existence.
These coffin texts clearly associate the deceased, identified as dark-skinned Africans, with the stars and the solar beams of Ra.
Texts state that the Akh originates from the Shining Ones, created from Atum's eye. Gods possess Akh in intensified degree, and are full of Ahku.
Here, Ahku signifies effective power, not just action. This power can be given to humans through divine choice. Texts show human attempts to accede to this divine state. To be Akh is to possess actionable agency beyond death.
The Akh does not merely survive, it acts.
This state is not symbolic, but materially described.
In 18th dynasty texts, Aku is physically transferred from a divine mother to the king.
The transfer occurs specifically through suckling.
Hathor, depicted as a cow, nurses Hatshepsut.
Hathor states, I have filled you with my Akhu.
Here, Aku is a tangible force, not symbolic alone.
The transfer of Aku occurs through divine milk. The milk conveys life, dominion, stability, and effectiveness.
Who created your perfection?
Milk also creates the king's perfection and legitimacy.
Life, stability, and dominion form the components of empowered rule.
In this context, Aku translates as power, not just effectiveness.
A similar declaration appears for Thutmose III.
They enter into you.
The power is described as entering him through milk.
Effective rule is transmitted as a biological inheritance.
Royal power is not merely political in origin.
Akh refers to effectiveness. Akhu refers to power. In these texts, Akhu signifies cosmic energy.
These combined forces constitute the empowered king.
The result of receiving Aku is effective kingship.
To be king is to be Akh, effective in power.
The text explicitly describes Aku as ingestible.
And so, the path to understanding must be charted. The medium of ingestion is divine milk.
Two royal examples confirm the same action. These powers functionally enable rule.
Thus, Aku is effective power, not a symbol title.
This leads into broader forms of empowered existence.
Divine milk transmits Aku as biological power, forming effective kingship.
In the womb of your mother, Tefnut, her empowerment is so she can transmit life and dominion to the king.
Nut bestows life and dominion to the king.
These powers are inherited rather than only acquired. Aku is transmitted by suckling and generated at birth.
Birth itself generates effective authority. Authority precedes the formal ritual.
Nut, as celestial mother, embodies Akh as a transferable life force.
It can mean impersonal power or a specific empowered being.
The king receives Akh, both by birth and by ritual.
Akh appears in singular and plural forms.
Impersonal cosmic power.
They mediated divine and human spheres.
Ramesside texts describe the Ahku as historical ancestors.
Immortality is conveyed by divine contact, not separation from the body, within the arms.
These Ahku were followers of Horus.
The deceased emerges from the root of Atum's eye.
Akh is frequently derived from the solar creator god Atum.
They are predecessors to kings and function as cosmic agents.
This links Akh to solar radiance.
It results in a transfigured body and an enlightened mind.
Humans gain Akh through ritual magic.
Spoken words and enacted rites extend Atum's power to the deceased. In this state, the deceased becomes an initiate, a Akh Ikra.
The first divine pair ultimately generates humanity.
The Akh Ikar is knowledgeable about celestial and underworld forces.
The Akh Ikar is the knowing one.
The transformation immortalizes a person through light.
The transformation yields effective and informed power.
The body is not removed, it is empowered.
Akh is derived from Atum, bestowen through contact, ritual, and light.
Atum Kupert.
They stand between gods and humans.
Thus, Ahku is a demiurgic power capable of producing divine and human life.
It is gained through birth and ritual, producing a knowing, effective being.
To become Akh is a solar, cognitive, and bodily transformation. Egyptian texts connect Akh with stars because light was viewed as a power of continuous self-renewal. Stars, especially circumpolar stars, were interpreted as visible signs of cosmic life that never dies.
Texts asked, implicitly, what in light bestows continued power?
The answer was Akh, the essence of self-renewing vitality.
Because the circumpolar stars never set, they symbolized undying, effective life. The deceased could share their effective life by identifying with these stars.
The king becomes a shining star, a Spitzer, a Shind, or one of the Ahku. an imperishable being.
Jedefre is a shining star.
The pyramid form expresses this ascent. Its steep sides symbolized solidified sun rays. Immortality was not passive existence, but renewal through AHK, a state of cosmic effectiveness. Akh, first modeled on stars, later aligned with solar theology, Atum or Re as the source of effective eternal life.
What we do to survive becomes power that survives us.
Death is not escape. It is upgrade.
Death is not escape. It is upgrade.
The Akh walks, breathes, endures.
The body remains. Desire remains. Power remains.
Spirit is not escape from matter. It is command over it. Ascend, not to silence, but to work among the stars. Ascend not to silence, but to work among the stars.
The radiant tier of Atum forms effective beings.
To shine is not to glow, but to move with purpose.
Light is not seen, it is enacted.
The radiant tier of Atum forms effective beings.
To shine is not to glow, but to move with purpose.
The gods are Aku without limit, deciding who joins their hierarchy.
Aku is ingested, absorbed, becoming living, internal royal force. This milk contains life, stability, and dominion, all as energy.
The plasma spreads, illuminating the king from within.
Hathor builds perfection at the smallest level of being.
Protection is not worn. It radiates from divine nourishment. Kingly authority is inherited biologically from Divine Mother Hathor. The king's speech becomes effective, and words gain divine force. This is not symbolic milk. It is literal power transferred.
Kingship is not granted. It is grown through divine plasma.
Before she opened her eyes, Nut absorbed cosmic force, becoming Akh in the womb to pass divine power to kings.
Nut inherited life and dominion in her bones, becoming a conduit of power, not just a goddess of sky. Akh was a force and a being, a spark or a storm, a power alone. Rays carried impersonal Akh, raw cosmic voltage stored in light, waiting to be claimed by flesh. Akh could make a person effective beyond death, reshaping the corpse into awakened potency, not a ghost. Ramesside writings called ancient beings the Ahu, ancestors between gods and men, luminous intermediaries. These intermediaries carried divine voltage forward, cosmic agents who birthed royal authority into humanity.
Akh begins with Atum, effectiveness formed from the sun's burning will. the dead become Akh, only through the touch of divine light.
Texts say we rise from the root of Atum's eye, born from living light.
From Akh power, Atum created Shu and Tefnut, the first pair, ancestors of humanity. Ahku is not just strength, it generates life and worlds. Humans gain Akh through ritual, hacking the power of creation with words and action.
The body is not discarded, it is upgraded.
Our Akh Iker, the initiated flame, knowing the secrets of sky and underworld.
This power is both physical and intellectual, the enlightened body.
To become Akh is to think, move, and burn like a god.
Egyptians saw light as life, a force reborn forever.
From this endless renewal, Akh became a power of living immortality. Circumpolar stars never die, so the effective soul never stops acting.
Pyramid texts proclaim kings as stars, shining, effective, imperishable.
Even pyramids are named for starlight. Jedefre is a shining star.
The pyramid's shape is light, made solid, a ladder for ascent.
To endure like a star is to remain effective, to act beyond death.
Akh means self-renewing work, not servile, but cosmic labor.
Immortality isn't waiting, it's rising, powered by radiance.
The stars taught renewal. This ritual is called Sa'akh, to transfigure effectively, a literal activation.
Transformation is operational, achieved through ritual performance, not belief.
The origins of this process are stellar.
The lector priest is the technician of the dead, architect of the effective.
Light is not symbolic. It is effective, creative force made visible.
To become Akh is to be glorified, physical, but charged with living light.
An effective being still eats, feels, moves, a living body made divine. In Egypt's earliest seals, the Akh appears as an ibis, the effective, transfigured dead.
Names and symbols of Akh mark renewal as a functional power, not an idea.
The Akh eats, nourished like the living sustained in material form.
Sps, the August One, and Akh are the same, being in different states.
Light forms were hard to depict, so Egyptians chose the ibis, a body radiant with transcendence.
The feeding of the Akh was a ritual, real nourishment for a real body. Sound is creation. The disk is the cosmic egg. The bird is living light. Food is literal. The dead still need sustenance as embodied power.
Its burning reds and molten orange feathers, made it a living beam of power.
The crested ibis was a sacred revelation, a glimpse of embodied divinity.
Flying low at sunrise, it crossed the light land, the place of rebirth.
This bird, likely phoenix, embodies renewing radiance. Life.
The same bird marks the horizon, the site of daily cosmic renewal.
Akh is not a ghost, but flesh empowered through cosmic light and embodied capability. Some scholars saw the name Akh as the Shining One, a being of light.
Its fire-colored body linked it to the shining dead who had become stars.
At first it was literal. Later, it became a symbol of transfigured force. The word for ibis echoed Akh, sound and symbol converging into meaning.
Birds captured mobility, renewal, and supernatural vitality in a single form.
In Kemet, a person is not spirit against body. A person is one power, many forms. The Egyptian person is a unity, made of operating modes, not separated parts. Each mode can live, act, and exist alone, yet none are fragments.
The living and the dead continue through Ka, Ba, the soaring consciousness that returns.
Ka and Ba were studied more. Akh became misunderstood, ignored, diminished. Scholars turned Ka into spirit, Ba into a soul, stripping them of flesh and force.
But the Akh lives as a physical power, a capable, embodied being.
The Akh moves, senses, feeds, participates. It acts with knowledge and strength.
Akh bridges cosmic origin and human destiny, from Atum's light to Osiris's life.
They summarized the Akh, but left the picture incomplete.
A few linked the Akh to rituals and festivals, but only fragments of a larger truth. This study searches for the Akh as a system, cosmic and human, united.
Akh begin in the light of Atum and Re, the power that makes gods effective.
Point yet flows into humanity through Osiris and Horus. Power that can be inherited. The Akh is effectiveness in society, in ritual, in death, in creation itself. We trace this power through the pyramid texts, coffin texts, and the Book of the Dead. Akh evolves, yet keeps its core. Light, renewal power, and a body that acts.
To be Akh is not to escape the body, but to live effectively beyond death.
Cosmic power and human action become one. Immortality is not passive, it is effective existence,